And we are back on the record in cause numbers 2023-0D0, 3304, 2023-0D0, 0461, and 2023-0D0, 0380, State of Texas versus Michael Beck. Mr. Huffman, I believe before we broke, we were reviewing, or your client may have had some questions about some misdemeanor cases.
Well, Judge, there was a criminal mischief that was dismissed. There was a resisting arrest that was dismissed, and there was a failure to ID that was declined. So he's no longer being held on any misdemeanors. Once these pleas are done, he's going to be time served and not have any other cases pending, and he should be released. Yeah.
If they declined a failure to ID, is that not going to take all the charges that were initiated by that failure to ID arrest with it?
Mr. Beck, I'm going to go ahead and stop you right there. Mr. Huffman, we're going to come back to Mr. Beck's pleas. We're going to make sure you all have an opportunity. Mr. Beck, you have an opportunity to clarify any questions you have. So we will come back to you. Let's go to the next case.
Thank you.
And next, may we have Eddie Morris?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Solis. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, thanks. Go ahead.
Because number 2018-0D0-1845, State of Texas versus Eddie Morris. Announcement of counsel, please.
Eliana Lizalde for the state. State is ready.
Araceli Solis, on behalf of Mr. Morris, we're ready, Your Honor.
And Desiree Vallejo for adult probation, Your Honor.
And Mr. Morris is appearing from the jail annex. I gotta think we're set for a probation status hearing today to follow up on, I guess, the efforts to explore some type of treatment or exit plan if Mr. Morris were to be released. I believe Judge Speasney was covering at the last hearing, but I was able to review at least the YouTube video of that hearing. And Ms. Vallejo, are you the probation officer or is it Mr. Bruce? Because Mr. Bruce was here last time.
It's Mr. David Bruce, Your Honor. He's the current probation officer, but I am his supervisor, so I'm aware of this case.
Okay, so
I'll be covering.
sounds good. I believe I understood the report from Mr. Bruce last time was that Mr. Morris had refused to take medications as were recommended by the mental health authority that screened him while he was in custody. Is that right?
Yes, they did screen him, but he refused. He refused medication. And he also refused, they screened him and then he refused care. He wanted to continue with psychotherapy that he's receiving in custody. He declined services on 4/20 from EHN.
Okay. So I guess my number one question, Ms. Solis, and I know you've been advocating very hard to keep Mr. Morris on probation, but we're at either our third or fourth motion here. And I'm not really sure that your client is willing to do his part, nor even if he was, I'm not inclined to keep him on probation. So why am I keeping him on probation?
Okay, Your Honor, everything that was stated is not my understanding, Judge. We are set for a bond hearing today as well. I actually also spoke with Mr. Morris prior to this hearing. He did indicate that he is willing to take medication. However, he stated that he did do a brief Zoom conference, and he stated that the medication that he had been prescribed before, which is Latuda, is not prescribed at the jail. According to Mr. Morris, this medication has been the one that has no side effects with him. He did reach out to EHN, Judge, and he was trying to make arrangements to make an appointment to go in person to continue therapy and medication once he's released. I also reached out to EHN. I tried to get a hold of a Sean Dickerson, who is my understanding is the one who handles the inmates. I did get a hold of EHN briefly, and they did indicate to me that Mr. Morris is in the system. However, I've tried, I don't know, 3 or 4 times already. I've left voicemails to see if they could give me a little more information. And this is at the location at 1600 Montana. Was trying to make some type of arrangements to see how it would work to schedule him for an appointment. According to Mr. Morris, he wasn't asked if he needed any type of mental health. I wasn't present at the Zoom meeting he had. But Judge, he did indicate to me, and I believe I indicated this last time, that he does have a stable residence with his girlfriend. And according to Mr. Morris, his daughter, who just had heart surgery, is actually living with his girlfriend. So he's hoping to go back home. And Judge, he was, and the court's well aware, he was placed on 10 years of probation in 2018. So he still has plenty of time. I had asked if the court would consider maybe giving him a status hearing just to show that he is being compliant with going to services and getting therapy and taking medication, Judge.
Okay, but I guess here's my issue. He's been on probation since 2018, and he's got 3 motions to revoke for 5 years of his probation. I'm really not inclined to keep him on probation. Mr. Morris, why do you want to be on probation still? You never did anything in the past 5 years. So what's the problem?
I did, Your Honor. I did the classes, I paid the restitution, I paid the court fees. And I did everything that I was told on probation. And I actually want to finish it.
Your
Let me
Honor,
hear from Ms. Alde, please.
if I may.
Oh, go ahead, Ms. Vallejo. Yes.
The probation department does want to continue to work with him, Your Honor. He does have a history of failing to report, but other than that, he did complete BIP. He did pay the restitution as stated. He did pay the court costs and fines. Right now what he's pending is his 80 community service hours and his supervision fees. And then of course, addressing his mental health issues.
How often, but let's stop. How often did he report versus not report?
So this last time that we requested a bench warrant from you, Your Honor, he failed to report August of 2022 through January of 2023. We did make
So
several
that's
attempts.
what? That's 5 months, 6 months?
Yes,
August,
Judge.
September, October, November, December, January. So 6 months out of 1 year. Okay.
If the court does allow him to continue, I did request from EHN in the jail to have him evaluated once again. I do have a Takumi intake scheduled for him for June 1st. I was thinking, Your Honor, if you do allow him to continue, we can do I don't know if you remember Rafael Silva, we can do that plan where I'll pick him up from the jail the day that you on the 1st, June 6th, when he has his Takumi appointment, we can pick him up, we can take him straight to Takumi, have him get evaluated, and then take him to his plan of residence, wherever he plans to live after that. And to my understanding, back when you gave him the PR bond and the surety bond, he was to reside with his girlfriend, I believe, but we can help him with all of that if the court is inclined to that.
I just don't know that he's done more than half of his reporting requirements since he's been on probation. We've had 3 motions to revoke, right? All of them are for failures to report, right?
Yeah, so a little bit of a history, Judge. He failed to report November and December of 2018, and that's when you filed a motion to revoke. It was then dismissed and he did 30 days of ACOP. After that, he was rearrested in October of 2019 for assault family violence. That's when the second motion to revoke was filed, and then it was dismissed for him to pay restitution, which he has paid in I believe it was $500. And then this last time.
And this last time is 6 months of not reporting.
From August of 2022 to January. Yes, Your Honor.
And then he's been in custody.
And yes, he was.
Your Honor, not to interrupt, but he has been in custody since February the 4th. I understand that he did have some non-reporting, but he's been in since February, Judge. I don't know if that could be used as far as like the non-reporting months, Judge, but I have had several conversations with him. He really is trying to get into EHN, Judge, and I know at the last settings, you wanted some type of a exit plan, and this is kind of the best thing we can come up with, but I think it would be a little more efficient if he were to be out, and maybe the option that Ms. Vallejo is suggesting.
I'm not inclined to ask probation to expend the type of resources that they're suggesting when this individual has not done their part. Has not reported in 2018, picks up a new case in 2019, and then does not report for 6 months. What's your rec, Ms. Elizalde?
The rec has been 3 TDC.
That's the offer. That is really the minimum that I will take. So if you'd like to come back, I'm not going to work with him anymore on probation. When we initially, Ms. Elise, because I don't want you to think that all of this was for naught. I think initially when you had and you still have your bond hearing, so I'll still hear that. Judge Reyes, I think, gave him a $60,000 bond back in February. And then I think I entertained some type of, because you brought up the mental health issue, looking at some of those things. And then I think Judge Spiesny covered the next one. So it's taken a few settings to get there. But I'm not inclined and I'm not convinced that he is a candidate for probation. So 3 TDC is that what it was, Ms. Elizalde? 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the state's rec. You need to discuss it with your client. I can assure you it's not going to get better than that. If you need to set up some type of other revel or have some other information, let me know. In terms of the bond, if you have something in addition, I know I've heard some of it, but feel free to present whatever you'd like, Ms. Solis.
Yes, Your Honor. I've spoken with his girlfriend. She is willing to have him reside there. As I mentioned, she does have custody of his daughter right now. Your Honor, last time, I believe the bond was set at 60,000 cash surety, 5,000 PR. Your Honor, there's a little bit of money to help him post bond, Judge, but we respectfully request that the court could consider 5,000 cash surety with PR bond components, Judge.
Ms. Elizalde?
Judge, I would oppose bond. We just announced that it's the state's recommendation is prison. That combined with the fact that he has had shoddy, reporting history with probation. He has a prior pen trip and it came out of a revocation. I think that his history speaks for itself. I think he's a flight risk. And at this time, we would ask the court to not modify bond. We believe it is reasonable given the facts that I just stated.
Anything else, Ms. Solis?
No, Your Honor.
The request to reduce bond is denied. We can come back on a probation status hearing in 30 days, unless you would like something else like a contested revo or pre-revo or.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll speak with my client, Judge, but I guess probation status in 30.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's next?
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You may.
May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Annex, may we have Cassandra Torres, probation status, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Give me 1 second.